A zone defense in basketball can be a real challenge for your team, especially at the youth level. So in today's video, I want to share with you my top tips that allow you to beat any zone defense easily and will help you score more points. I'll go through the key strategies, break them down on the clipboard and show you several examples against a 2-3 zone, a 3-2 zone and a 1-3-1 zone. Let's get into it. Key number 1 is attacking the gaps. Every zone defense has natural gaps. They're usually where there's no defender, so right in the middle of 2 or 3 defenders. By attacking those gaps, the defense is forced to communicate and make a choice. This creates mistakes and free spaces elsewhere. A primary goal of the zone defense is to keep players and ball out of the key. When a player can make it inside the middle of the zone, it creates many good opportunities. So the first option is not to take a contested shot or to drive all the way to the rim, because that's exactly what the zone defense wants, namely letting you run into several defenders. But first we need our teammates to move into these empty spots to punish the defense. So once the second defender comes up for a double team, a kick-out pass to player number 2 is a good play in this situation, and the next defender is faced with a decision. But we have more options. A simple ball fake can get defender number 3 to step up, and we have the chance for a dump-off pass to player number 4, cutting to short corner. A skip pass to corner 3 is also possible if the players move properly. Here's another example against a 3-2 zone. By driving from the top into the middle of the zone, we cause the entire defense to shift and force a double team on the ball handler. That's how a drive from the top is usually defended by a 3-2 zone. What matters is that the other offensive players move into the open areas. Now we have much better angles than before. We have the option for a kick-out pass to player number 1. We have the option for a skip pass to the opposite side to corner 3. And we have the option for a dump-off pass to backdoor cutting player number 4. All of this was initiated by attacking the gap and good player movements. So key number 1 is worthless if the player who catches the ball is not ready to act. It's crucial that action must be taken immediately afterwards, either an instant shot, another penetration, or a swing pass to the next open player. If the player stands still or dribbles without purpose, the defense can get set and the advantage of having shifted the zone is gone. Do not waste any dribbles against the zone. Get the zone to move, get the zone to shift with quick actions. That's where mistakes happen. Because the defender might come late to guard the ball handler, it is a good idea to attack the closeout and beat the defender in the first step. A series of quick passes and penetrations in a row can finally break down the defense and open up the chance for a mid-range shot or a finish at the rim. In almost any zone defense, there's a gap between the first defensive line and the second. Especially for a 2-3 or a 3-2 zone, the high post is a vulnerable area. It often happens that the matchup is not clear and 1 or even 2 defenders must give up their assigned areas to defend the high post. When a player flashes into the high post, it creates multiple opportunities. It is a perfect distance for an easy mid-range shot, so defenders must act. The player can drive to the basket to force a double team and now has a good chance for a kick-out. Another great option is to play high-low. It only needs a ball fake and a bounce pass to the player under the hoop for an easy layup. Passing the basketball to the high post against a 3-2 zone is more difficult and is usually defended by the top defender in the middle. So it is best to let a big come up to high post from behind. The next 2 tips show why it is so important to have a player on the high post. The first tip is on-ball screens. If the high post does not receive a pass, the player can move on to set an on-ball screen to stretch the defense and get the defenders out of their assigned areas. Let's take a look at this example. The high post steps out to set an on-ball screen. Now the ball handler goes right off the screen and gets another defender to step up. This creates a huge space for the player in corner 3, either to take an open shot or to backdoor cut to the rim for a layup. Let's rewind and look for another opportunity. Player number 1 can also drive straight to the middle of the zone and collapse the whole defense. It also works fantastic against a 1-3-1 zone. Again, the high post sets a back screen on the top defender. By going right off the screen, we get player number 5 to step up and create an overload on the right side of the court. The next tip doesn't necessarily have to come with a high post, but can be a great combination. A player running along the baseline behind the second line often stays under the defense's radar. This baseline runner can move precisely into an open area because he or she can see the whole game from a different perspective. The key is to backdoor cut at the right time and receive the ball in the dunking area for an easy bucket. One important, or maybe the most important key to beat a zone defense is quick ball and player movement. You can't beat a zone by just passing the ball around the perimeter without moving into the open spots. Every player must relocate in order to become playable again. A great way to do that is a cut through the key ending in the corner. This has two advantages. It stretches the defense and we create an overload. Let's take a closer look to this situation against a 3-2 zone. It starts with a pass from top to wing and a basket cut all the way through the paint. The next player can fill the open spot and is wide open. It is a perfect example how to relocate in order to receive a pass in good position. Another challenge for the defense appears when the cutter gets into the corner. Now the defender has to make a choice because he or she has to guard two players. We can punish the defense with a skip pass and again have a wide open player in good position. Scoring against the zone defense can be a lot easier when you implement these 6 keys to beat any zone defense. Watch out for more videos on my channel about playing against the zone defense. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. See you next time.